Regardless if it's good, bad, or anywhere in between, it's always a net benefit, a net positive for those central planners, those in government who benefit tremendously from this kind of stuff. Hey everyone, it's a headline article out of CBC, Montreal. RCMP says it has intercepted 3,800, that's 3,800 asylum seekers entering illegally into Quebec since August 1st. And this is only in the middle of August. This was reported on August 17th. So like I say, half a month and you're already seeing 3,800 illegal asylum seekers crossing the border. Doing it illegally against Canadian law, right? But listen to this sub-portion of the headline, and this will help solidify and verify what I was saying earlier. Garneau announces additional temporary housing in Ontario and new task force to address migrant boom. So look at that. Additional temporary housing and a new task force. So government, like I said, it gets to grow their numbers. I mean, think about it if it was a private business or a private corporation. It's completely a net positive, a benefit. It's completely profitable for this kind of illegal activity. And when it comes to government and the fact that they do generate revenue from this stuff, unjustly, immorally, and illegally, but they very much do get to fatten up but they very do get to fatten up their coffers, right? And to prosper and profit from this kind of illegal activity that is going to be forced. Think about how government gets their money. It's going to be forced on you to pay for it, for all of it. Not just these illegal immigrants and whatever negative consequence or ramification that happens as a result of them or coming to this country illegally, but all this extra government intervention and policies and bureaucracy. It's all benefit the central planner types, right? The control freaks, the authoritarians, the ruling class among us. In what the RCMP is calling an unprecedented boom of asylum seekers, it says more than 3,800 people crossed the border illegally into Quebec during the 2 weeks spanning August 1st to August 15th. The figures were released after RCMP held a technical briefing Thursday with the Canada Border Service Agency and Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada. Our offices are patrolling 24 hours a day all year long, and we have never seen such numbers coming in, said RCM spokesman Claude Castaneguay. But I mean, even they're benefiting overtime, right? Are they stopping them? Are they preventing them from coming across? Because, considering the border is like they're doing it illegal, so they very much have the right and the authority, as far as governments go, to prevent these people from crossing into this country. But are they doing it? No. They're just processing them, right? So it's still, even if they end up going back later on, it was still a lot of revenue generated for a lot of bureaucrats, a lot of government institutions and entities. And at the end of the day, even if some of them go back, these asylum seekers to the U.S. are forced to go back, the central planner types, they still got to steal large portions of your productive income to deal with this situation, to deal with this, when in reality they could have just used, and they sent the military down there to Quebec. Hey, the military is supposed to secure the border, or even if it's the Canadian Border Service Agency, you're supposed to be securing the border, not allowing illegals to come in this country, so you could have prevented a lot of this bureaucracy, a lot of this massive fraud and waste that's happening, this forced wealth distribution that the Canadian population is going to have to be forced to pony up and be accountable for. You could have prevented a whole lot of that by saying, hey, you're not allowed to cross this border. This is a border. This is a country. We call this place Canada, and you don't get to, just like, you and your house, people don't get to come into your backyard, do they? And that's the thing. Would you want to allow them in your backyard? Maybe if you had a little business and you were benefit from it. Maybe if you were a human trafficker, you might benefit from it. But that's both illegal, immoral, and unjust. But your private property, as far as the state is concerned, they claim Canada to be their property, right? That's their territory. That's their particular geographical landmass that they have control over. Well, are you seeing them doing things properly? I sure shit ain't. Anyways, I don't have to read any more in this article. Once again, I'll place a link to it in the description of this video below, so you can go in and read whatever kind of bullshit narrative they're trying to put forth or present. But at least we're seeing now, and this is just one border Canada in Quebec, and this is happening across all of Canada. 3,800 in just half a month. How much longer before, this forced wealth redistribution model, how much longer before Canadians are just fed up and just say, screw it, I can't deal with it no more, I'm going to take law into my own hands? How much longer before that happens? And then that's the other thing, the media pundits, the propagandists, the political opportunists, they'll all be pointing out if Canadians actually took the law into their own hands and did what was right and what's supposed to be part of the very constitution of this country by defending the borders, well, they'd be the ones to be victimized by the state and being penalized, punished, and turned into criminals for doing such, right? This is the thing. Canadians are saying, hey, you do it, considering you're supposed to be the one entity that's supposed to do this. That's your duty. But hey, if I choose to do it myself, now I'm a criminal, right? But when the people that are supposed to be doing this stuff aren't doing it, and can take that task upon themselves, yeah, sorry, I'm not a fan of statism, but I understand where they're coming from. I understand they realize that, hey, just like in my backyard, if they kept coming in and stealing my vegetables, right? If I had a vegetable garden in my backyard and people kept breaking into my backyard and stealing my vegetables to the point where I didn't have enough to feed my family, I'm soon going to take it upon myself to stand in defense of my property, of my income, of my productive wealth, my productive capacity. And that's what Canadians are at this point trying to do. And they're recognizing, they're seeing it in the landscape, that the people that are supposed to represent them are supposed to do that on their behalf. And the whole point of this forced wealth redistribution model, that they're negating their duties completely. It's a Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.